Here's a question from Anne. She says, the emotion code chart does not include the emotion of rage. And this is certainly a trapped emotion for some. I've been thinking of just adding it to the chart. Please comment on this. Okay. Well, let me explain to you a little bit about the chart and how this works. First of all, rage is really just an intense form of anger, sometimes coupled with another emotion like panic, frustration, or fear, which may be a psychic trauma if you've got more than one emotion there. We found that the chart is complete as it is and that it encompasses the entire range of emotion. Now, let me explain this. When I was first doing this work, I had a chart that I used that was, I think, about probably 3 times the size of the chart that we use now. And so, as you can imagine, it was a lot more cumbersome to use. It took a lot longer to find the emotions because there was so much more testing to be done. And what I found, though, is that through prayer and testing, that's how this chart was created. And what I found was that even though we only have 60 emotions on this chart, it really encompasses all of those other emotions. So rage is going to show up on the chart with by the subconscious mind choosing whatever emotion on the chart is closest to that. And so it will show up as anger, for example. We don't that chart, that emotion code chart, does not list every emotion possible. However, we have found that in all these years of using it, it's always worked. Now, here's something else that you might want to think about. If you remember that reality is plastic, and what that means is that reality is changeable depending on what your own belief is. Okay, and let me explain this a little bit. If for example, you believe that that you can't wear earrings and get a good answer on muscle testing, if you believe that, what do you think will happen? Well, if you have earrings in, your subconscious mind will make sure that you don't get good answers, you see, because you believe that. And so that's what we call sort of a limiting way of thinking. If you believe that the emotion code chart needs to be expanded, and if you really believe that you have to have the chart that I used to use years ago that was 3 times bigger, if that's what you believe, then that will be true for you, you see. So it's really important to think about and be aware of what your own beliefs are because they will either empower you or they will limit you. And so just food for thought about that. We found that the chart's totally complete and that we don't need to go outside of the chart. And so, but again, if you think that you will, if you think that you do, then you probably will. That's how that works.